Well, I've heard your music described as sort of eclectic rock. How would you describe it?
That's about right. That's pretty much what I tell people. It's very experimental, moody rock, eclectic. Yeah, that's good.
Who are some of your musical influences?
Oh, so many. There's a lot. How much time you got? Um, there's some pillars that have been with me through my entire life, and then there's momentary influences and whatnot. I would have to say I could tell you like the pillars of my life have been well, Anselmo for one, PJ Harvey, Nick Cave, um, Bon Scott. I can go on and on. Chino from the Deftones. And then there's movies as well. Characters from movies and stuff like that. But there's just so many. When I was a little kid, I was obsessed with the Sex Pistols. And then I went through. Then I got into like Korn and Deftones and Pantera and all that stuff. It's my obsession. Music. I listen to music all day, every day. So I'm constantly being influenced.
You have this EP Flamingo out right now. What are some of the themes you explore on it?
Madness, um, eccentricity, colors, paranoia, discomfort, um, you know, um, aggression for sure. I love to dance. When I was a little kid, I wanted to be a dancer. So yeah, all of the above.
There's some great songs, hit after hit, I would say, on Flamingo. Do you hold a special place in your heart for one or more song on the EP?
I think my favorites would be the Bird of Paradise, Lights Only Upon the Hand That Does Not Grasp, and the song I Used to Be a Machine. Those are some pretty personal songs to me. Yeah, the first track as well. It's just it touches on it pulls the heartstrings, and it reflects and represents certain momentary emotions that I was going through. But I'd say the Bird of Paradise and I Used to Be a Machine are definitely my favorites.
I was going to ask what the inspiration was behind I Used to Be a Machine.
Uh, you know, there's three different versions of who we are. There's who we are inside, and there's who people see us as, and there's who we are online, social media. There's all these different versions of ourselves, our shadow self, and all these things. And it's kind of, I believe everybody's got a little bit of a split personality in them. Um, Visually, I always think of The Shining. To me, that's like my Jack Torrance. Uh, The Shining has it always comes to mind whenever I think of that song.
There's definitely an intensity to it
Yeah.
for sure. Um, how does the video play into the message then behind it?
Um, I'm not sure if the video plays into the message behind the lyrics of the song. I just worked with a director and I gave him a movie reference and he kind of went from there with it. Revenge. There's a lot of revenge kind of vibes going on throughout the video, and it wasn't necessarily a song about revenge, but that's kind of that's what he went with. That's what he ran with, and I'm grateful for it too. I really like that video. I really liked working with that team. The team is American Primitive out of Los Angeles, and yeah, it was a great experience. It took 2 days out in the desert, and we had a great time.
When it comes to your songwriting, do you need to craft a beat or a little bit of something you hear in your head before you can start writing the lyrics, or do the lyrics find you and then you work out a beat on your own?
Absolutely, the beat. I always start with a metronome or a beat, and then I'll do a bass track, and sometimes I'll do something on the guitar, which is very rare. Most of the time in the past, I did everything from a drum beat that I would program and play with my fingers, and then I'd do the bass on top of it. The song "I Used to Be a Machine" started with the guitar and the drums. I laid down the drums first, and then I built a guitar on top of it. And I gotta say that the new EP that I pretty much have the new EP written and done. I have the next two EPs written and done. We just need to take them to a bigger studio and do it. But the new one that's going to be coming out, God knows when, is way more guitar heavy. I wrote the majority of those songs on the guitar after just testing out uh, multiple effect like fuzz pedals and distortion pedals and stuff like that. But most of the time it starts with the metronome or click or drum beat. I'll just go on top of that, and then the music will definitely instigate the words.
How much of a hand then do you tend to have when it comes to the production side of the music you make? It sounds like you're quite hands-on with most of the music you make.
Yeah, I mean, I produce my own stuff. There was an engineer that I trusted that we worked with on the last record that helped me out a little bit, but I know what I want, and when you're dealing with such heavy subject matter and such these personal topics, the last thing you want is someone to tell you how to do it or how to get it out. For me, at least, I know exactly what I want, and I've done it for a while at this point to where I know how to get the point across. But that being said, if Brian Eno would like to produce a Spirit in the record, I'd definitely be down for that.
You're
He's
headed,
another great influence.
you've been out on tour here recently and you were with Pantera, Lamb of God. What is it like for you to be playing alongside these legendary musicians?
I mean, I grew up with Pantera, listening to Pantera. It's definitely gotten me through some of the more challenging times in my life. So I go out in the front and watch from the pit every night, and to be able to do that and then walk back and have dinner with everybody or whatever, watching boxing with Phil or listening to music, and it's I pinch myself daily. I'll say that it's quite the experience. Lamb of God are all great guys. Everybody's been really cool. The crew, everybody's been amazing. Kate and Selmo, she's a godsend. You know, I have no complaints, and I can't believe I get to do this.
You're headed out here shortly too with King Parrot, Filth is Eternal. What can fans expect from a live Spirit in the Room performance?
A lot of aggression, sweat, uh,
Dancing.
man dancing. You just expect to. I don't know. It's most of the time when we play, people get pretty taken aback by what we're doing because I don't know what's going on from their point of view, but I think people just kind of step back and take it all in and count. They wonder if I'm going to get hurt, or somebody like they're wondering, is this guy going to fall or somebody gonna is he gonna throw something? I don't know. I've just is just from what I've heard or people have expressed to me, but I just expect to have a great brutal time. It's going to be quite an aggressive show from beginning to end, and King Parrot are fucking awesome. They're brutal guys, brutal band, great music. good times. They love to have a good time, and so do we. I'm not. Uh, I'm not too familiar with Filth is Eternal, but I've been checking them out here and there, and I'm liking what I'm hearing. So I'm looking forward to keeping the stage warm for them.
You told me you have maybe the first, or I should say, you told me you have the next two EPs sort of crafted out. Do you have any idea of when you'll possibly be releasing them? Or is this putting too much pressure on you right now?
No, 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 no pressure. I put all the pressure on myself. You're wonderful. Thank you. Um, to be honest, I have no idea. I I know what I know. I have a lot of material, and I have the next two releases put together in pieces and set aside. So whenever we can get around, we have a lot of shows coming up, and once we get done supporting the Flamingo release, it'll be time to get into the studio and get everybody up to speed with the new songs, and it's going to be quite a bit of a challenge, but that's the next step is getting everybody familiar with the new stuff and working that stuff out. And as soon as that happens, then we'll go from there. We're just taking everything as it comes, for now. And who knows, we might get a lot more shows before we're able to do that. But that's the plan, is to get into a room and get everybody cracking on the new stuff. No
You
idea when it'll come out.
you told me a dream producer, or at least a producer you have in mind maybe to work with in the future. Is there maybe an artist you would love to work with in the future? Collaborate with on a track?
I've always wanted to collaborate with PJ Harvey. I would love to work with her. Um, we played with this band the other night called Will Haven. I thought they were fucking badass. They were brutal. I'd love to do something with the singer of Will Haven. He's got a great scream to him. But I've always wanted to work with PJ Harvey, so that's kind of like, that's a bucket list goal.
You do have such wonderful music out here with the Flamingo EP. What would you like to say to everyone who are fans and supporters of Spirit in the Room?
I love you. Thank you. And stay tuned and don't stop believing. Thank you. I'm truly grateful.